Now we can actually jump into the matchup on the main stage, Epsilon versus Team Kaliber.
All right, London Docks, map number 1. Can Epsilon try and play spoiler here for TK? A 3-0 is what is needed. Not necessarily their guaranteed win condition. Of course, there's still plenty of other permutations that could allow them to go through to bracket play, but a 3-0 definitely best case scenario for them. And they've started off pretty well so far, Reb.
All right, so it's TK off to around an 11-point lead before Epsilon decide to jump inside the hard point. It's reading on a 4-3 right now, and you know, Epsilon, we've been talking about them so much. How can they find a victory here against Team Kaliber? Well, this is one of TK's best hard point maps, so maybe a bit of a slow start for Epsilon in this series, but you just saw Reedy going that 4-3. Kenny, of course, starting out 4-0 as well before he gets team killed there by Pharaoh, so no streaks earned by him, but somehow Accuracy already has a glide bomb to work with, so such a strong start for TK here to kick things off.
Very strong start indeed, as now all of a sudden Kenny looking to control the spawns over towards Main Street. Gonna have Dave back, tags him up, and of course Kenny being tagged from behind, but ultimately wins the fight anyway. 22-11, current lead for TK. Again, nothing to get too excited about, but the big thing, Accuracy has managed to earn himself at least a glide bomb. See if maybe Kenny can do a little bit better here as he tries to go on a little bit of a spree. That's going to be 4 in quick succession, now looking for the 5th.
Yeah, for those who are wondering how Kenny's 8-0 and only on a 4-3, he got team killed by Pharaoh a little bit ago, so that doesn't show on the death column. Unfortunately for TK and their fans out there, Kenny would be fully streaked out at this point in time had that team kill not come into play. But Enable made a big play happen early on for TK on this Main Street hardpoint as he wrapped around through Beer, pinched around the coal side. He blocked off those spawns while picking up the kills on the Epsilon players from behind, forced them to spawn out over towards water. So good chunk of time going in favor of Team Kalibers. Now we're looking ahead over towards the Docks Warehouse hardpoint. We do see some Epsilon members with some early positioning, but can they hold on to it? The glide bomb gets used by Accuracy, so it's information gained, but no kills made.
Yep, Enable now looking over towards Tin. Dave, of course, has just dropped down. Enable won't spot him just yet. Now he will, though. Cleans up the first pick, and you may recognize that pinch could be coming through here. So he jumps out. Nice read, but unfortunately, the nade there from Vortex. Ready and waiting. TK, they've done well so far, though. They have earned themselves that early lead, like you were saying, 60-23. But this hill could be maybe Epsilon's way back into the game.
I say each and every hill, Epsilon just need to approach like all these featured hills and just say, we need to lock this down for the full time and just really stress the importance of locking it down. Accuracy, a chance to get fully streaked out here. 90 points away with that kill, gets another glide bomb as Enable finds 2 from the back. So now TK, they're going to have spawns in favor for a barrel building, and now they can turn their attention over towards the crane side of the map, and they're just wiping the floor with these Epsilon players. Accuracy gets fully streaked out. He's going to back on up. However, they lost control of the spawn, so Epsilon, they might still have a fighting chance here. However, they're certainly on the back foot.
This is a fantastic start for Accuracy, 13-4. He knows he needs a good performance today. Needs to lead by example. Glide bomb going to be dropped. That should secure the kill on Dave. No, doesn't actually. Dave with the hot little juke there. Stays alive. Accuracy knows he's going to be at the backside, but ultimately doesn't want to go for the challenge just yet. Now jumping into the hill is Accuracy himself, and honestly, he may get himself another streak here.
Where the hell is the slaying from Epsilon right now? Vortex, Hawkey, and Dave combined for a total of 11 kills. Kenny has 14. Accuracy has 14. Both these members of TK alone are outslaying 3 combined on the side of Epsilon. Like, they just haven't came to play.
Oh, this is streaks on streaks on streaks. Of course, for Epsilon, they know there's no way of them getting over towards the nationwide arena knockout play here for the 2018 World Championship, but for TK, they're still fighting for it, and he's earned himself a streak, and Accuracy, he's still on a 9 spree, by the way. Like, his spree hasn't ended. This is TK all day early on here, day 2.
Before both those players dropped there as a combined, what, 17 spree between Kenny and Accuracy combined? These guys have been the duo all year long for this TK lineup, and now one of their most important matches of the year to qualify for the bracket portion of the Call of Duty Championships. It's Kenny and Accuracy who shows up.
Well, 138-33. Scrap time goes in favor of TK. Looks like streaks are going to be used to try and break over towards Crane side, but instead it's actually going to be aimed at Hawkey. A strange one from Kenny, but he knows Hawkey's going to be at least in close proximity. Hunts down the kill. Now can he find the second? That can't happen, and you deserve to shoot the body there, Kenny. Let Reedy know about it. Still an artillery and a fighter pilot. This is looking like a mere formality for TK.
And I love that from Kenny, getting their heads early on. You know, let that doubt set in the back of the minds of Epsilon, because right now they're just thinking, I got a long flight back home. Now you're just getting crushed, pounded by TK right now, up by over 120 points and growing still with streaks to use. TK, they started off strong, and they haven't looked back since. Every member on TK on a spree right now.
Let's see if some way, if there is a way, that is, Epsilon can try and get themselves back into this. First rotation, 10 seconds away from being completely ended. And now going into the second rotation. I mean, it's going to be tough, right? You've got streaks on the other side. It's almost impossible.
I did the math a little bit earlier, but just to do it again, Dave, Hawkeye, and Vortex combined right now for 21 kills between the three of them. Kenny has 21 kills. Accuracy has 21 kills as well. Both those players are outslaying 3 people combined on the side of Epsilon. It's just unacceptable. You got to shoot people back.
You know, you do. You do, right? If you're not, it's pretty hard to win. In fact, it's very, very hard to win. With 37 seconds left of statue, Epsilon, they've been able to get at least a couple of seconds there, but nothing really to brag about. His accuracy, once again, just doing accuracy-like things, finds the double, Reedy drops. Kenny and accuracy, again, we can talk about it all day if we wanted to, Revan. That duo playing extremely well.
Yeah, to say the least, up by 130 points, still continuing to mount on a lead here. As the Statue Hardpoint is about to come to a close, looking ahead over towards the main street. 3 kills going in favor of Team Kaliber, so it looks like they should be able to win the rotation. Now it's all about fighting for spawns, and I believe they still have, you know, a fighter pilot to work with on Kenny. Does Accuracy have anything? Yeah, he's going to use his fighter pilot right here. He knows that Epsilon are spawning out over here to the water side of the map, calls in the fighter pilot. You see the angle to sweep up the street. Unfortunately, the Epsilon members were a little bit closer to fire than maybe he expected, but still information gained. Kenny can rotate over, pick up these kills. Easy peasy so far.
Do we get free tacos?
I was about to say that. We better.
Yeah, 100-point club could potentially be on the cards. 193.
Epsilon management better give us some tacos for watching this.
That's not been good, that's for sure. But on the flip side, it's been absolutely superb from Team Kaliber from the very beginning to the very end. It's also worth mentioning accuracy over 2 minutes of hill time as well. He's just been sat like a turret, just picking up kill left and right. 20 seconds left of Main Street, though. The rotation could come in early from Team Kaliber, and that's the benefit of having such a big lead. You can rotate so early and just get a good setup on the new home.
And when Kenny and Accuracy are doing things like this, Enable and Feral really don't have to do anything on the map. Like, as long as they just put themselves in the right position and call out like what they're doing, there are only so many kills to get on the map, and that's why you're seeing Enable +1. Feral, even though he's -1, like, they're still doing their job. They're still putting pressure out on the map. And it's just Kenny and Accuracy, the showstoppers here for TK, showing up in map 1.
Definitely are. TK, early time dock warehouse. 50 seconds left, so they can theoretically win it here still. They need at least a contest to come through from Epsilon. Really weak, has to wait. Vortex is going to go for the pinch. This could be good for Epsilon. Getting a little bit of time as Vortex actually picks up the double. Dave on the outside trying to slay with the AR. He's getting close to streaks, but at this point, we're talking about a miraculous comeback.
Even 26 kills are getting outslayed right now. It is Epsilon. And that results in a 115-point lead for Team Kaliber. Sure, you might get some scrap time in favor of Epsilon, but it's just way too little too late. Even if you get fully streaked out here from Vortex, way too little too late. Like, you had to do this in like the opening couple of hills if Epsilon wanted a fighting chance, but they've dug themselves in their own grave, and there's no getting out at this point.
Yeah, too many streaks early as well for TK. Just gave everything up. And you're paying the price now if you're Epsilon. Despite that, though, still a little bit of life left in them. However, as we rotate over towards barrels now, it's TK. Favorable spawns, early hill time. Pharaoh's starting to heat up a little bit here. Is he? It's a couple of kills in quick succession. Looking over towards the hill, doesn't even need to. Accuracy finds the pick onto Vortex, and again, it just feels like this is a formality now, Revan. This map was over a while ago.
Yeah, only one word to describe this map for Team Kaliber, and that's easy. From start to finish, Epsilon didn't really put up much of a fight. Kenny and Accuracy right now, they combined for 66 kills between the two of them, outslaying the entire Epsilon lineup. This is an easy map 1 victory for Team Kaliber, and this is how they start their road to bracket play.
Yeah, very, very dominant. TK will go 1-0 up in this series against Epsilon.
And this is actually really big because Epsilon, they are no longer going to have that
knocks
path.
them out, right?
Yeah, and if they needed to get a 3-0, if they wanted to stay on that path to actually making it into the top 2, it wouldn't have been easy even with that. But now, that dream is going to fall off, and we can start to look at how some of those permutations are actually going to shape up here. I mean, LP and TK, if they do win, they are going to clinch first and second respectively. That is a big thing to kind of note. So we kind of just need
That's
to...
what I was trying to say earlier, by the way, Ben.
Yeah, well,
I was saying if Heretics win, all of a sudden this gets way, way, way more interesting.
Yeah.
Then you have 3 teams at 2-1, and at that point you're looking at 3-way ties. You're looking at map count between the 3 teams. It's going to get sloppy, which is why, again, 3-0s are super, super important here. And that Heretics game arguably is more important than really the TK series, because you expect TK to beat Epsilon. You just do.
But look, we also expected TK to beat Heretics. We also expected TK to beat Lightning Pandas.
You're not wrong.
And you know, they lose to Lightning Pandas. They could have lost to Heretics Heretics as well. So just like Nameless was saying a little bit earlier, like even though, sure, you have the higher percentage chance, of winning coming into the series, you can't overlook your opponent and you can't underestimate anyone you're playing against here.
You're not wrong.
And the main thing with Heretics, too, is they would need to win at least 3-1, and there's still potential for help from other teams, too, if that scenario doesn't happen. That's why that is the pressure play. There are a few different outcomes that can happen there.
I just think that's very possible.
Ben wants it.
I don't want it. I just think it's very, very possible. I think it's very important to stress. We've seen these situations time and time again, and often we don't really cover it as well as we should. But it's very, very important to note a 3-1 for Heretics here could send TK home.
Yeah, 3-1 here would be absolutely huge, and that's why we're going to be keeping our eyes on those matchups, actually see everything that's going down. Of course, we're going to have Rise going up against Lethal as well. We haven't talked about that nearly as much, but Rise, Lethal, and then we're also going to have Tainted Minds versus Brash. So we have two groups going on each time in each of these heats, if you will. We could talk about that a little bit. I mean, going into that, we expect Rise to be able to handle Lethal.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Rise are 2-0 in their group, and so are Lethal Gaming. Yep. So we're going to see both those teams at bracket play, and this is a huge kind of implication or a showing from these Lethal Gaming guys, because it's the first chance for a lot of these members. Nameless was talking a bit about it. All these guys came up in the Search and Destroy scene, and they come out, and they're putting on a good performance so far at Champs.
I want to highlight one thing, because it just caught my eye as I was looking over at Revan. Elevate's up 2-1 on Evil Geniuses, and they're currently leading in the hardpoint. So if Elevate take this series on EG, we might see a situation where EG doesn't even make it to bracket play. So this is shaping up to be insane. That's another group I didn't really have my eye on. I kind of was like, yeah, Optic and EG are just gonna make it through, right? Like I didn't anticipate Elevate
Is this their second game, or is this their third game?
This is EG was I'm not sure what.
I think this is their second game.
I think this is their second game. But EG still has to play Optic Gaming as well. So I believe that's EG. EG was 1-0. So their last match after this is Optic Gaming, and that's it. So
spicy.
It could be, we might not even see them make it through, so this is getting crazy.
If you would tell me that Patrick Price, Aches, of all people, wouldn't make it to the bracket portion of a Call of Duty Championship, I'd call you crazy.
Spacely beat Aches last Call of Duty Champs to knock him out. And now he might knock him out here again in group play. And they had that crazy debacle on Twitter, which is why I remember it.
The Aches killer.
The Aches killer. Aches, the Optic
Aches
killer,
showstopper.
and then
Crazy. Anything could happen here at the Call of Duty Championships. Anyways, Epsilon versus Team Kaliber back on your screen. Map 2. TK had a very easy time in game 1, doubling the points of their opponents. 250 to around 125 was the final score. Now St. Marie Dumont search and strain. Maybe this is where Epsilon could put up a better fight against Team Kaliber, but we were already highlighting the situation. Epsilon, fortunately, we won't be seeing them in the bracket portion, but they could still play spoiler.
Yeah, it's been a bitterly disappointing year for them. It really has, and this is really their last attempt of doing something this year is to play spoiler. Of course, TK, stage 2 champs, but a few weeks ago, all of a sudden, backs truly are against the wall. Vortex finds one, and Epsilon will go ahead and take that first round.
There you go, Epsilon. That's a start. That is something to build off of. 1 round at a time, exactly how they need to approach this map. We'll see if they can keep it rolling as this map progresses, but still, even playing spoiler, it's something to look forward to, and at least it's a goal that you could bring into this series. Like, hey, even though our road to champs is probably done and dusted after that map 1, we can still make sure that those guys at the end of the stage can feel the same at the end of the series as we do right now.
Very true. Very true. Now, round 2. It's going to be, of course, TK on the attacking side. Looks like they're going to show B first round. We'll see exactly what Epsilon has in hand to try and stop that. Bulky mid-map. Land a couple of shots. It's Enable that was in trouble. Ferro was there to support. Ferro draws first blood. Hawkey with the pre-fire. Kenny just runs straight through it, says don't even care. Now, a 2v4.
So even though Ferro doesn't have his sniper out right now, that play is able to develop for Team Kaliber because of the presence that he does have when he brings it out. Teams are so scared of him when he has that sniper rifle in his hands that they're afraid to peek out in the middle lane. They're afraid to peek out in the windows over towards top red. And because they don't have any presence over towards those lanes, that allows TK to pinch on in through the top red window, down through the bottom red, and isolate these players for easy kills early in the round as TK answer back in their offensive round to tie things up.
As you said, 1-1. I do want to see Epsilon at least make it interesting, right? Let's really see what TK is made of here when the backs are against the wall. Of course, we saw it at stage 2, but Epsilon has the quality. They have improved. It's just almost very similar to the Tainted Mind story over in the APAC region, right? We know they've improved. We know they've got better, but the results just don't follow that story.
Reed with the sniper. There you go. Things up with 2 kills. There's Vortex to follow up. And now it's all down to Enable, which means that this round is done and dusted. Epsilon should be able to take the victory here.
What, you don't think Enable's going to clutch
No.
a 1v4?
No, I don't.
You're absolutely right.
I don't. Sorry.
If you had to put a percentage chance of him clutching
0.
a 1v... Okay.
I thought that was implied by my tone as he's left alone in 1v4. But still, Reedy bringing out the sniper rifle, that's something that can maybe shut down Pharaoh, and it's something that they're going to need to pull out of their defensive rounds as well. As I highlighted, as TK showed some early mid-aggression, right? They're able to jump into that top red window. If
Right.
Reedy's sniping like over towards the white Jeep or top white, just anywhere where you can find that angle to shut down that early aggression, it's going to be key for Epsilon.
It's something that we've seen Reedy do a few times on St. Marie Search. He isn't afraid of pulling out that sniper rifle, and he can take over games. Curious to see if maybe it forces Pharaoh to bring a sniper rifle out himself. Of course, for this round, the answer to that is definitely going to be a no. But definitely something to keep our eyes on for future. As so far, TK, they've pushed over towards the A site. Hawkey's been spotted crossing. Now, is that going to be enough for Reedy to push blind through the smoke? He is. Finds the bomb. That's enabled. Looks for the double. Beautiful read from Reedy. And now Epsilon in a good position to win this round.
Sure, they have the man advantage, but Kenny's still alive. Pharaoh just falls. Kenny is certainly capable of making this 1v3 happen. 55 seconds left on the clock, even though the bomb is dropped over towards the A bomb site. Kenny's a god, simply put, and he can make anything happen. He's in this situation. Let's see if he can find the kills.
Couple of problems.
I like his movement so far. Yeah, he's loud.
He's very, very loud, right? Airborne Hunker, to your point, bomb dropped at the site. Epsilon know about it. 40 seconds left. He isn't really working towards streak progression either. I mean, is this one of those kind of situations where you just say, go for it?
Yeah. Absolutely. Maybe try to take out Vortex. We could see he's on a 2-spree. Immediately going to challenge Hawkey here because Kenny recognizes the situation. He has to go and he has to go fast. There's one down to a 1v2. Does he find good time here? He's going to peek around the corner. Oh, if he had it.
Good shots.
If he had like 5% more health right there, I think he wins that engagement and brings it down to a 1v1. A close call either way, but Epsilon, hold on. Thanks to Reedy opening things up with that key 2-piece.
Very, very scary there for Epsilon, even though it was Kenny in a 1v3. To your point, you have to respect his ability. But Epsilon now winning 2 rounds in a row. They have themselves a nice cushion. 3-1, the current score here in St. Marie. So once again, we'll see Epsilon on the attack. Of course, we saw an A push in the last round. Will we see it again here? No, looks like it's going to be a B show.
All right, typically how things play out here on St. Marie. Now, Team Kaliber, what we saw from them at playoffs is they're one of the better teams at defending this B bomb site push. Like, they delay their entrance into the bomb site, they count the grenades, and then they have a set piece to re-enter. Actually was able to find first blood, his first kill in the game, but Epsilon still have some footing inside the bomb site. As Pharaoh's going to repeat, going for the wall bang still, an even man count as Epsilon trying to find these opening kills over towards B. They've secured control of the site, and now they're looking to get the objective down.
And the big thing to note here is Epsilon have kind of waited for TK to use all of that extra utility. All that's left is Pharaoh. He's going to throw his out. Really not going to do much. You're Epsilon, you're in a good position here. The problem, Enable on the flank. 2v3, Hawkey's ready and waiting, leaves Pharaoh 1v3. He drops, and this is a much better showing now from Epsilon.
Oh, yes, absolutely. They're up 4-1 right now, round count, and they're cruising here in this search and destroy, but they have to keep it up. It's been the story with Epsilon all year long, where at times we've seen that. You know, they've shown that they can hang with, like, the first rotation. They can hang with the first couple rounds of search and destroy. It's just when it comes down to those mid-game adjustments that they have to make to really turn things back in their favor, they're unable to do so. Sometimes they're a little bit stagnant in their ways, and that leads to them being stagnant in their results as well.
Heading into round 6. Now TK's turn to go back on the attack. It looks as if they want to try and play towards the B site. Can Epsilon try and do a little bit better than last time? As instantly Vortex flies straight through. He has Kenny dead to right, but there's the nade over the top. It's Reedy with a double to open up. Accuracy weak, Pharaoh weak, and Reedy wants to push it, but you have to be disciplined in these 4v2s.
Oh, exactly that. He sees the progression towards his streaks. Dave as well has good progression, so these guys just want to back up, play it safe. Dave's even going to find one more kill at least in this round as Vortex finds accuracy. And what Epsilon did right there is what I think all teams have to do on their defensive rounds. That smoke placement right in front of Ammo as the offensive team is leading into that B bomb site. It makes them feel very uneasy because you don't know exactly what's waiting for you on the other side.
Perfect. You can't blind push through smoke, right? As soon as you as soon as you push through, there's going to be 2, maybe 3 people pre-aiming. You don't exactly know what to expect. It's very hard to call out in those situations as well. It makes it very, very scrappy, and that's just, to your point, exactly how you have to play those defensive rounds. And Epsilon have utterly destroyed TK so far.
Oh yeah, 5-1 to kick off the search and destroy. But TK, they're a super resilient team. We've seen them make these types of comebacks before, and now Epsilon, you just have to finish out the game. One more round is all it will take, and you can see safely approaching this offensive round. Maybe taking things a little bit too slowly.
And when you look at the scoreboard, accuracy 1 of 5, Enable 1 and 5, Pharaoh 3 and 6. Only Kenny even on the flip side, wonderful performances from both Dave and Reedy. 7-3, 7-2, even Vortex himself, 5-2. Give him a little bit of love, as with 55 seconds left in the round, it is starting to slow down a little bit, and it's going to be a bait play over towards B. The smoke comes out. Is it enough to draw the resources from Team Kaliber? Of course, Kenny's still over towards the A site. He basically has a 1v1 for a few moments, and you can see Reedy shooting his gun as well. He's running backwards and shooting, but the bait, it's just not good enough. Kenny, he stayed over towards the A site. He read the play, accuracy with the crossfire. Nice try, Epsilon, but it isn't going to work this time.
Yeah, that fake was not sold well enough. That smoke grenade was all that really tried to bait out a rotation, and it was coming out of Reedy. And now in this situation, he wants to maintain this progression. If he checks to his right-hand side, he will find accuracy top red. Just playing things safe for the time being.
It's the streaks, right?
Yeah.
450 of 700. Admittedly, a player just inches away from him.
And TK think they have all their lanes covered. You can see they're spread on the map. They know bombs dropped.
Oh, there it is. That puts him one away. Reedy with a second left knows he doesn't have to move. Why give him or put himself in a position where he could potentially die? Good round from TK, not to fall for the bait.
I want to talk about that bait for a quick second. I think what would have really sold it is had those two other members next to Reedy like thrown one grenade each, right? The thing is, like, Reedy throws a smoke, he fires some shots, but that doesn't equal any presence in towards the bomb site, right? Had you thrown like a stun or tagged someone up behind the radio tower, then that guy feels panicked, right? And he's like, guys, they're coming, they're about to hit this bomb site, let's send a rotation. And then that's the bait that you're trying to, sell in that kind of strategy.
Reedy had line of sight of two players mid-map, tagged up, had to back away, and all of a sudden his teammates dropping like dominoes. It's a 2v4. Make that a 2v3. Dave able to do a little bit of damage limitation, but Reedy again left in a 1v3. And this is important to note because he is the player that is close to the streaks. He wants to try and get the streaks to really be the final nail in the TK coffin. But now he's forced to maybe even play a little too aggressive here in this 1v2.
Well, look at Kenny. He's on a 4 spree, and it's always Kenny to lead Team Kaliber back in these games. With this plant, he's going to be ever dangerously some streaks of his own, just 150 points away, and it's going to be a 1v1. He's running with the sniper out, and he connects on to Kenny. Does he use the glide bomb here? Does he use it right away to at least gain information on where Farrah's located? Yes, he's going to use it. He's going to call it, and obviously not going to get killed, so you exit. You exit the glide bomb, and then you go right towards the bomb.
Imagine if he ran into his own glide bomb. Could have been catastrophic, but he knows Farrah's there. Reedy, I applaud you. A wonderful, wonderful individual play. 1v3 with Snipe, no problem. Makes it look simple, and there's the wry smile on his face. He recognizes that he's just pushed TK maybe a little further than they would have liked.
And TK came into the series with all smiles on their faces, but now maybe a bit of a wake-up call there as they drop the Game 2 Search and Destroy to Epsilon 6-2 in dominating fashion. When was the last time we said those words?
Exactly that. The series just got interesting. Epsilon, Team Kaliber tied 1-1. We'll be back with CTF after this.
down to the wire here. We are very shortly going to know the top 16 teams that are going to make that cut, make it over to Nationwide Arena, and actually get to compete on the biggest stage of the year. We will be cutting half of the field today. Currently, we're watching TK versus Epsilon, and TK still in that scenario right now where they really do need to pull down this win, Revan.
Yeah, the future is unclear for Team Kaliber as they're still in the middle of the series here against Epsilon. And keep in mind, if TK lose this series, if they find a way to lose it, we won't be seeing them at bracket play.
Yeah, I mean, they found a way to lose one map. The question is, will Epsilon be able to keep on going? Will they be able to find momentum as we jump into the CTF?
I've called it time and time again throughout the year. This is a squad, when they're in these situations, Revan, when they can cause upsets, they often do. This, however, would be an upset of just monumental proportion. As we head over to Game 3, series tied 1-1. Epsilon, if they were to somehow take the advantage here at 2-1, because I think, honestly, if we were to talk about this series, we wouldn't
like
say the win's going to come in hardpoint. It isn't, right? Game 4, it's just going to be so tough. I think you have to look at Epsilon maybe to play maybe a bit unconventional here on Flag Tower. Maybe just play for some sneaks and just try and get away.
Yeah, if you find the opportunity, certainly sneak, but they're certainly feeling the early pressure here from TK. One defending member alive for Epsilon, that's going to be Reedy. As Kenny, he's going to push on forward to the outskirts, backs on up, wins the engagement, and now see TK starting to establish their spread out on the map, covering all lanes, waiting for Enable to come up off respawn, and now they can have a 4-on-4 team push at the Epsilon base.
Problem is, look at all the map control here that Epsilon have given away. They're not able to push out just yet. For now, at least, surviving, but this could be where the cracks start to form in the defensive hold for Epsilon. It's basically down to Reedy once again. Actually has snuck through, lands some great shots onto Hawkeye, and again, you're looking for Reedy to go big. He finds the first, not going to find the second, but luckily buys enough time for teammates to come off spawn. But so far, this is all Team Kaliber.
Yeah, Epsilon are able to deflect that pressure from TK just because they stay on top of their trades. And keep in mind, since all the action's going down at the Epsilon side of the map, the reinforcements are a little bit quicker. Kenny, this is exactly what we were expecting Epsilon to do. Sneak through like that. Hawkeye, I'm not sure what he was looking at, but it didn't even seem like he saw Kenny there. And now as Kenny finds the opening kills, that's all 4 down for Epsilon. This is almost certainly a flag cap for Team Kaliber. They strike first.
And that's really good spawn control as well. All 4 lanes completely covered. No one pushing too far. Now Accuracy can push far because he's thinking about maybe setting up a relay. And they can find those extra kills. Kenny, of course, will secure the first flag. Now it's over to Accuracy on the other side. 3 players go down again. And, well, when it rains, it pours. As TK looked fantastic, maybe. Oh, as I say that, no, Dave with the double. A little lucky spawn comes in to assist there, but still, it looked for a moment as if TK were just going to run away with this one.
All right, so now Epsilon, they found themselves some breathing room. Kenny, he's going to sneak by once again. He finds one, can't connect on the second there onto Dave. So it's going to be Dave working with Vortex here, trying to deflect pressure once again. As TK, they're starting to ramp up the pace here. It's Pharaoh now behind enemy lines in a position to go for this flag grab. And Epsilon don't seem like they have an idea just yet that he's here. Pharaoh will make his presence known. Doesn't do anything, but the opportunity was there. Still TK up 1-0.
Halfway through the game so far, Revan, or halfway through first round, I should say, we haven't had a single Epsilon aggressive push. They
haven't had a chance.
Pinned in their base since the very beginning. This is probably the furthest up the map Vortex has seen, and ironically, he gets shot in the side.
How can they put on an aggression when they only have one guy going positive? Vortex has 2 kills. Reedy has 3 kills. Hawkeye has 3 kills. These guys aren't doing anything. Dave right now is outslaying the rest of his teammates combined.
Yeah, there's another one for Dave as he finds double digits relatively early on. Now, 2 kills strung together. Can this be a bit of a kickstart here for Epsilon to get some map control? 3 players, all 4 down momentarily. Accuracy first off spawn. Reedy just needs to wait, a little patient here. He wants to try and open up the doors to go for the flagpole. Put himself in a very unique position. Was just lying down, but will be spotted from the left, and ultimately the Epsilon push stopped.
You know, they had map control for a moment.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One quick moment, Epsilon had map control. Unable to do anything with it, though.
It was extremely brief. You thought maybe, just maybe, they could apply the pressure. But again, so far, even if you take the scoreboard away from things, this has been all TK. It really has, but the problem is it's only 1 flag. And, well, Revan, we know from just history, CTF can change in an instant.
One mistake. One mistake is all it's going to take on the side of TK, and that can allow Epsilon a lifeline back into this game. Because as it stands, TK, they've been playing the contained game for a little bit after getting that first flag cap, just looking to reestablish map control. There have been moments, you know, that one brief moment where Epsilon had map control. It was looking like they could have gotten a touch on the TK flag. That fell a little bit short, but now it's going to be TK. They found an opening up on the map. It's going to be by the hands of Pharaoh. His accuracy picks up one. Pharaoh is there to chime in with the second, and now you see two remaining defenders here for Epsilon. As it's going to be TK ramping up the pressure once again.
So hard because they're trying to buy time, and Reedy's done just that. He finds himself a double. Kenny going to be stopped, and Abel now essentially just pushing up, waiting very, very patiently for his teammates to at least get a little bit of map control with him. He's able to pull the flag. It could be fantastic for TK, but just being a thorn in their side right now. And he has managed to pull the flag. Now can he get away? He's going to spot Reedy. Free kill, as free as it's ever going to come. And Abel was lingering.
Pharaoh's not watching the overextension for the time being. Dave finds the kill, so now it's a foot race on the overextension. Is he going to challenge the flanker? How does he win that against Kenny? Actually, it's there for the trade, and no one here to follow up for Epsilon. So in the closing seconds, it will be Team Kaliber as Enable gets the touch on the flag, extends the stoppage time. TK and the half up 2-0.
And importantly to note, Enable 550 points towards his first streak. And you think 2-0 lead, you had full control of the map pretty much for the full 5 minutes, bar 1 15-second spree from Epsilon. You get streaks as well. It's pretty tough to lose a game like that.
Yep, absolutely, but we've seen crazier things happen.
That is true.
Especially on a map like Flak Tower, you're able to get that relay set up, control the spawns of your opposing team. And look, had the half ended at 1-0, Epsilon would have been in a, not like a great position, but a manageable one at that. Look at the kills that they bring to the table. Just not a lot of slaying done by anybody on the team aside from Dave. So coming into this next half, they just need to start winning their gunfights and make sure they keep track of Kenny. There have been multiple opportunities throughout that first half where Kenny just snuck on through and made plays happen over at the Epsilon base. A big kill for Enable to get here as the second half kicks off, but he doesn't earn the streaks.
I mean, Hawkeye looked directly at Kenny as if he looked through him.
Yeah, right.
Right? So I don't know whether Kenny's running around with camo or something, but as it stands, he's definitely been that nuisance. He's been that sneaky player. Just getting behind enemy lines several times. It's forcing Epsilon just to play so passively because they are obviously aware that he's doing that and they're trying to adjust in tune, but so far to no avail. Still 2-0 TK lead, a minute gone now in the second half. And again, similar story really to what we saw in the first half. All TK so far.
Similar story to the hard point as well. I felt like there were so many times where I just did the math and I'm like, wow, 3 members from Epsilon combined for just such a small amount of kills. I mean, look at Hawkeye, Reedy, and Vortex. They combined for 17 kills. Dave has more kills still than the rest of his 3 teammates combined. And I feel bad for Dave. You got to figure every time he pops up the scoreboard, he has to look at that. He's like, guys, can I get a little bit of help? Just somebody help me out.
I don't think I've ever seen that in a game of CTF, where one player has had more kills than all 3 of his teammates combined. Like, normally we'd say, oh yeah, than 2 of his teammates.
No, when we bring it up, it's like 2 minutes into the game. Like, oh,
right,
you know.
but not, what, 6 minutes?
Yeah.
6.5 minutes in? Like, this is pretty tragic. To be honest, Dave, double positive, doing everything he can, but ultimately kills.
Somebody else pick up a controller, please.
I mean, yeah, you need to get those kills to get that map control. And more importantly, you got to get those flags to go down. But Enable there again to try and go for a stop. Kenny finds another. Reedy left by himself on an island, and he'll drop as well. Nothing really working for Epsilon on the attack.
Yeah, maybe a small moment for them there to put some pressure onto the TK base, but TK just do a great job of just playing their life. You know, as soon as they find one kill, they back up, let their health regenerate, and that's exactly how you need to approach these defensive rounds. Like, when you're finding that yourself pinned back in your base, it's all about trading the kills. You know the reinforcements are quicker, and it helps when you stay alive, you know, after finding that first kill, so your teammate can come in and help out off a bait.
Obviously, you know, we're talking about how Epsilon aren't doing very well slaying. You know, credit where credit's due for accuracy, 19 and 11. He had a phenomenal map 1. Very, very good, as did Kenny. Kenny sitting at 15 and 12, Pharaoh 14 and 11, and Enable even 14 and 14. But both Kenny and Enable with the flags as well for TK. Bear that in mind. With 2.5 minutes left, Epsilon have realistically
2.5 minutes left, and Dave is the only one with double-digit kills on the side of Epsilon.
Yeah, they've shown us nothing.
Unacceptable. And you know, Epsilon, you figured they'd have some sort of momentum behind them after whopping TK in the previous Search and Destroy 6-2 on that St. Marie Dumont, but they just come out and they fall severely flat here in the CTF. But still, you're only down by 2 flags. Nobody on TK has streaks. It's going to come down to these next select few engagements. Like if Hawkeye, Reedy, and Vortex decide to pick up their controller and shoot back for these last, you know, minute and a half, Epsilon can still find a way to force overtime, maybe even win it.
A 2-0 lead in the flag tower really is nothing, especially with 2 minutes. I mean, a flag a minute, very, very possible. But to your point, it's only possible if you shoot back. And right now, it's just not happening for Epsilon. They've struggled so much as Reedy make the play.
Yes, that's what you have to do.
Okay, well, he sneaks behind enemy lines. Now, what can he do from here? Because they have no idea where he is. He's left in a position where he's saying, guys, just get a couple of kills, I'll pull the flag. There's the first. It's Kenny that goes down. Reedy trying to just take control of the game by himself. Spots Ferro. That's going to be a pick. Streaks as well on the cards here. If he's able to escape, he dips down underground. Teammate not going to win the fight. It's going to be accuracy, and Reedy not going to win it. Vortex still in a position to keep the flag alive. The nades come through. Accuracy just does not want to give that flag up. It's going to be returned, and TK look good to win this map.
That was the moment right there for Epsilon. That was the game for me. All they had to do was cut off middle map, and accuracy by himself shuts down all of the offensive pressure from Epsilon. Reedy made the correct play happen. He got the flagpole. His teammates found the defending kills, but his accuracy, the last man standing here for TK, making the plays happen. 25 and 13, an impressive spree from him right there, as they wind up getting the return, and that should be the game for TK.
Obviously, the joke that accuracy has ice in his veins. It's those moments right there, though, right? It may seem small in the moment, but realistically, that's a very, very impressive play from him. 3 kills overall. Make sure his teammate gets the return of the flag as well. As ultimately, with 18 seconds left, I think you can chalk this one up to GG. TK will go 2-1 up in the series. It's definitely not been...
It's not even TK versus Epsilon at this point. It's TK versus Dave. Dave is fighting a 1v4 right now in this CTF map.
See, you're not wrong, but TK, he will take the advantage, 2-1.
And you know, all year, we sit there and we ask, we say, when is Epsilon going to play spoiler, right? When are they going to play spoiler? We know the potential is there for this team to do it. Is it going to be in the league? When is it going to happen? And now they have the opportunity in front of them to play one of the biggest upsets. They could just make something crazy happen. Are reigning champions from stage 2. They could potentially eliminate them from even making it up to the biggest stage on champs. It's pretty much handed to them on a silver platter inside of the games as well, and they just don't necessarily step up to it. And look, the same thing that you mentioned a little bit earlier. You said the only way that they win is if Dave goes off. He's the only player even in the lobby right now.
Yeah, but the rest of the players, they didn't show up in that game. He almost had as many kills as the entire team combined on his team. They all had 8 kills. He had, like, I think it was 22 at one point, which is insane. So Dave was going off, but he had no supporting cast. And you need some support there to win that map, and TK take it fairly easily, outslaying them by a ton. Like, he needs some help. Look how frustrated he is.
I mean, yeah, right. It's all good and well to be frustrated after map 3, but where was Dave map 1?
That's
right?
true. That's very true.
We can't just forget about what happened. And just because he had one good performance, great. Where was he map 1?
It's
what
important,
did he
though.
do?
It's important to bring up because when we highlight how Epsilon won this series, we all say 2-3-5. 2-3-5. That was their moment.
And
he doesn't particularly...
I wouldn't say it was their moment, it was their chance. And yes, he needed a little bit better support. But even in the search and destroy, you know, you look at the likes of Reedy, that 1v3 to end the search, like you're thinking, okay, he's going to carry that momentum through. And it wasn't there. And that's what confuses me about the Epsilon squad, because like from your playing days, if you went from a search and destroy, you clutch a 1v3, you roll that momentum over. You use that in the next game.
I mean, teams have gotten better now. Like, you have to be on point. Teams play with strategy, and they're consistent throughout their game modes, and if you're not, you know, playing to the top of your ability, you're going to get crushed versus a team like Team Kaliber. So I just think Epsilon, they don't know what to do on that map, and you can tell by the way they were playing it. They got map control, they'd give it up right away, they wouldn't push correctly at the right times, and on top of that, they were losing gunfights, so you're just not going to have a chance to win a map if you're playing it like that.
But it is worth mentioning, that was Flag Tower. They got heavily outgunned, massively outgunned, massively outslayed, but what was the final score?
2-0.
2-0. That is not a convincing win from TK.
Whoa. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Accuracy pulled out the AR, and he just did not move from mid-map. He's like, I'm up 2-0. I'm not letting anything random happen. Epsilon doesn't have Epsilon doesn't have they don't have the ability to get a spawn trap. They're not that good to that point. So accuracy and the rest of the players in TK, they know that, so they just set up.
They should be winning that more than 2-0. That's me nitpicking, but that should have been a bloodbath. Considering the amount of extra kills that they had, yes, accuracy played it extremely smart. I mean, you saw it at the end, right? When
oh my goodness! I don't read very often.
Wait, what was that stat?
6 and 29 in hardpoint.
Oh my goodness!
Good job, TK. 3-1, right?
Let me say one thing before this map gets started here is that EG will have to be Optic Gaming to make it out of groups. We weren't able to bring that up during the little quad split there, but that's going to be an insane matchup later on tonight. I cannot wait.
Be a 3-0
or 3-1. I believe it's 3-0, but I don't want to say that on stream without confirmation, but we will have that soon enough.
Yeah, we'll grab that confirmation. But honestly, I will say now, all year, Epsilon, been waiting for that breakout moment for them. When was all of the work that they put in the league, when was it going to show? When were they going to play spoiler? And they had an opportunity handed to them on a silver platter. They squander it. Now they're in a position here where it's going to be much more difficult. What was it, 6-29 for a hard point?
But I will say this is their best hard point map. You can't take away much from it, but this is their best one.
Seriously, though, if they can step up here, it would be very impressed, but they just put themselves in a way more dire situation. Let's see if TK can handle business and take the victory right here on St. Marie du Mans.
Excited for this one, of course. A TK win will end the series. Epsilon win extended to a Game 5. I'd love to see a Game 5 search, just because we love our Game 5s, especially the Call of Duty World Championships. But for TK, they're all business, and that's what we've just seen so far throughout this series. Early on, Winery, 32-11, 40 seconds left on the hill, and it is TK with control.
Yeah, Enable almost getting streaked out here early on, and Epsilon, like, even from that CTF carrying into the early stages of this hardpoint, they're just making some very fundamental mistakes. Things like not checking corners, not keeping track of players, and then just following one another up. Like, the general teamwork just doesn't seem to be there. But still early on this hardpoint, it's only a 30-point lead here for Team Kaliber, but Epsilon have to forfeit the remaining scrap time here on the Winery lot hardpoint. They're going to back up in favor of some early positioning over towards the parking lot, but it's only one player here locking out spawns. And look at number 3. Number 3 starting to spawn out. Number 2 is going to follow him as well. So Epsilon, even though they have the early rotation, they have the early positions, they don't have anybody playing safety all the way in the back towards the back stables. Now it's all up to Reedy here. He gets spotted. He's going to get dealt with, just swarmed by the TK players. That was abysmal. That was awful from Epsilon. That's not how you play an early rotation.
Yep, not the best play there, of course, as now you have to look at the score, 66-12. We're looking for at least a little bit of time to come through, but accuracy's just not going to allow it. Now Enable watching that cross. He's going to be able to do a little bit of damage here. He turns towards mid-map. I'm just getting this feeling, Revan, that this game could spiral out of control very, very quickly.
I mean, sure, Epsilon, they do get a clean break back into the hard point. Hawkeye on a 3-3, Reedy in the hard point on a 2-3, but still, you give up Winery lot with 20 seconds. You have 20 more seconds than the other team to play in any position you want in the rotation towards the parking lot hard point, and you just give it up for free. Definitely not how Epsilon wanted to start this game, because you figure if they get, you know, even like 80%, like 40 seconds on this hard point, right? They're right back in the game. Maybe you find somebody going on a spree, like getting a hot hand. Now that opportunity is no longer there for Epsilon. Fighting from the back foot, down 50 points, about to enter the lookout tower, and here comes Kenny on the hot flank.
This could be very, very damaging for LP. There's going to be the first, not going to find the second. A couple of missed shots, but still, it is Epsilon with the early time. A couple of kills in their favor, but even with the kills, they don't have the hill, John. Of course, that's the most important thing.
Yeah, believe it or not, that's actually how you win this game.
It is, right?
You get seconds inside the hard point. 1 second equals 1 point. You stay in there for 250 points, and you win the game.
You make it sound so easy.
Bit of a shocking concept, but that's actually how the game mode works. Anyways, Ferro on your screen here on a 3-3. Now, he has a chance to get streaked out. Challenges around the corner, shuts down Vortex. As TK, they've been able to extend on through the hard point and take a look at where Epsilon are spawning out at. They have such a journey back into the hard point, and now they're going to have to give up these remaining scrap time. Kenny's already ahead on the rotation, playing this corner inside the courtyard. Does spot one. His presence is now known, but just trying to open up a lane and be a nuisance for his teammates.
Looking now over towards Enable. This TK really shifting into gear here in St. Marie du Mans, 122-33, almost a 100-point lead, Revan, as we go into our second rotation of hills. Enables hit the flank, finds the first, tags up Vortex, not going to get the kill. Ferro looking for the trade, and no, not going to come through, but despite the 3 kills, still TK in the hill in the form of accuracy, just lying, waiting so patiently, just buying time for his teammate to get back to the hill.
It seems like we're back on London Docks, Benson. TK just starting to run away with this game. A 90-point lead, going to grow to over 100 unless Reedy had something to say about it. And Epsilon, take a look at the situation. Sure, you're down a lot of time, but you can't lose your presence over towards back ammo as you look ahead towards that Winery lot hard point. Reedy, as he spawns out over towards back ammo, I would say right now, Epsilon, you give up this remaining time, secure the early rotation, but it's going to be Kenny here trying to spoil things. Finds one, looking for the second here onto Hawkeye, does challenge, tags him up a little bit, but still spawn secure for Epsilon, and this might be their last stand. This might be the last map we see from Epsilon in World War II.
It very much could be, and it is important to note, a TK win here, a 3-1 will solidify them into the bracket. So it's very important. The only way really a TK win could have meant that they don't go through would have been a 3-2, and then they would have relied on Heretics with a 3-2 victory in their series later on against Lightning Pandas. So this is a big match for TK. See if they can close it out. Of course, they have that massive lead now, Revan, and honestly, you expect to see it end here. You really do. But Epsilon, if they've got anything else to give, an entire World War II season, just try and force it to that Game 5, and that could be the start. Hawkey finds himself a triple, looking for more, but you need that hill time.
Oh, nice shots there to enable. He has to get streaked out here. He absolutely has to get streaked out if Epsilon want any chance at this map. He falls just short of those streaks. And look, with the lead that TK have right now, it seems like they could just play for scrap time on all these remaining hills and still walk away with the victory.
In that way, especially on a map like St. Marie, right? Your rotation from winery to parking has to be flawless, and if you don't have the extra utility of those streaks, it's so tough. For Epsilon, the only saving grace is TK aren't going to be at 200 points just yet. They're still going to need at least 60 points. The problem is...
It's a small consolation, though.
It's a very small consolation.
Hey, guys, at least they're not at 200 yet. We're still down by 130.
When you're in that point, you take whatever win you get, right? You gotta look at all the small little wins. As Epsilon trying to get themselves to triple digits.
They let Pharaoh sneak right on through. He slips right behind Reedy. Now he's looking to make a play happen. At least he's influencing the spawns, and as Reedy spawns out over near Stables, yeah, they should know the pressure's coming. That's a big 1v1 for Vortex to win. So far, Epsilon, they're having a stronghold here at the parking lot hardpoint, but as Kenny connects onto the grenade, that's going to open up an opportunity for TK to break on in and secure more time.
Couple more kills coming through. This has been a good hold. A very good hold from Epsilon. And this could be, again, where that momentum starts to come through. If they can see themselves to at least triple digits, then the scoreboard doesn't look anywhere near as bad as it once did. But you have a lot of work to do. And unfortunately, still, no streaks earned. Hawkey, probably the closest. Reedy may get the plus 100 of the new hill. And if you can find that win on Kenny, could be big. He does, so that's going to be plus 100. Reedy getting so close, but just as we mentioned it, the nade comes through. Dave, there's a pick for him. Epsilon, they are slowly but surely coming back into it. They're chipping away at the lead, but I don't think it's going to be enough. It just seems too late.
Yeah, if they could get streaked out on this lookout post hardpoint while securing, you know, these remaining 40 seconds, I'd say it's definitely still a chance. And Hawkey, he's playing for the early rotation, right? His goal here is to get the capture points on the new hardpoint. That's going to pop up in just 30 seconds time. You don't want to overpeak from the window. You just need to play your life, keep it safe, find one more kill inside the hardpoint with the capture points, and you'll get fully streaked out.
Here's the problem. There's still 25 seconds of lookout post, right? Yes, you're playing for streaks, but you're essentially completely useless. If that's the effect you're going to have, pre-firing out of a window, not even going for the challenge, I mean, great. You're leaving your teammates on the other side to fight a 3v4. Now you have to win this. You need these points. You need to be in a good position to secure the streaks. Ultimately does win the gunfight. There's going to be a second play. There he goes for it. That's going to be the glide bomb. No ammo, though. Desperately scurrying for a gun. Can he find one? I believe all he has is the pistol. He needs the plus 100. He's going to get so close. An assist will do, and he still does not have.
Can you reload your main gun?
I think he picked up the ammo, but I don't think he realizes that he's actually picked up the ammo. Either way, he is their win condition, and he's going to get shot in the back.
Oh, that's just such unfortunate timing. If he just waited one more second, maybe he catches Enable slipping. But still, while we were hyping up Hawkey going for streaks, it's TK building this 100-point lead. They just need 25 more seconds, and then they'll take the victory here over Epsilon.
Yeah, it's looking good. And of course, again, to reiterate, for the TK fans out there, a win on this map will see them commence through to bracket play. It was a scary start for Team Kaliber here at the 2018 World Championships, but hey, they get business done at the end of the day. That's what you got to do at groups, right? You just got to get out of groups. You got to get yourself to bracket play. There could still potentially be some interesting matches that we see in bracket play because maybe they could finish second in the group if Lightning Pandas win out. Of course, they will be #1. So we'll stay tuned to see how the bracket develops later today. But as for TK, congratulations. As for Epsilon, I'm sure they're going to be looking at forgetting World War II as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, a relatively disappointing season for them. Team Kaliber, though, lives to fight another day. They will make it